Hey, what's going on everybody? So this video is actually going to be an update to my home server stack setup. So it's been about a year now and there's been quite a few changes and quite a few additions. So let me show you what I've been up to. So I recently ended up building an entirely new rack setup for this, and I actually did it pretty cheaply using 2x3s along with some pine boarding and finished it off with a nice ebony stain. For my console setup, I have a 20-inch Acer LCD monitor along with a 4-port I/O gear, USB KVM, along with a USB keyboard and mouse. Nothing fancy there. And then I finished the top off with a few coats of polyurethane. It's kind of hard to see, but it's actually black and transparent on the top there. It's kind of cool looking. But all in all, like I said, I did it pretty cheaply, and it works really well for what it is. So taking a quick look up front here, you can see that I have 5 1U servers now, along with 1 2U, and room for an additional 2U server, along with 2 CyberPower UPSs off to the side there, powering all of this. Around the back here, I have a Dell PowerConnect 5324 24-port switch, running all my network cables through to all these servers, and doing my best attempt to manage all the cables. But all in all, it's standalone. Everything I need for this setup to run is completely contained within the server rack, and it ended up working out pretty well. Alright, so this is just a quick overview of how I set this all up. So you'll notice out front that I have my modem and then a wireless router switch combo, and it's running in its own subnet there. And then behind that I have my dedicated hardware firewall, which is in the DMZ, and then I'm running an additional subnet behind that, and that's where you'll find my managed switch and all my servers and all that stuff are connected to. So let's take a closer look at the servers. On the top here I have a Dell PowerEdge 1950, and this is running VMware ESXi 5.5, and I actually use this as my dedicated hardware firewall. It's running pfSense and Snort from my IDS, and it runs pretty good. And this next box down here is kind of my utility box. I'm running Windows 7 on it, 64-bit, and you can see that I have a cable there so I can putty or console into my Dell switch. So these next 3 servers are kind of my development environment. All 3 are running VMware ESXi 5.5. The top one I kind of use for just whatever I want. Right now I'm serving off some iSCSI drives from FreeNAS on there to a MS SQL cluster. And the bottom 2 right now are hosting 2 AD servers, 2 load balancers, 2 web servers, and that MS SQL cluster that I mentioned. These Dell CS24s are really perfect for stuff like this. They're really cheap and they pack a punch for what they are. And then down at the bottom here I have a Dell PowerEdge 2950 Generation 2. And this is what I call my production server. It's running VMware ESXi 5.5. And I've got a load balancer on here along with a web server and a few public-facing websites and some databases and all that fun stuff. But all in all, that's the front of my server stack, and it got a little more out of control than I ever thought it would, but it kind of became my ultimate test and development environment to kind of really like play around and figure some stuff out. Alright, so taking a look around the back of the server rack here, on the top you'll notice my Dell PowerConnect 5324 gigabit switch, and the gray cables here are actually all data to the servers. The black ones are DRAC and remote management, the blue ones are kind of miscellaneous, and the yellow ones are firewall traffic from the public facing modem. And the 1950 on the top and the 2950 on the bottom both have dual power supplies. The majority of them are just singles, and you'll notice that on the ESXi servers I actually installed the OS onto USB thumb drives on the back of the servers there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The majority of the servers have dual gigabit NICs, except for the 1950 on the top from my firewall has 4 gigabit NICs, and the 2950 on the bottom also has 4 gigabit NICs on it as well. As you can see, cable managing something like this can be a bit of a nightmare, but Velcro helps a ton, and you see that I pretty much filled a 24-port gigabit switch, and all the power cables don't help either. I'm powering all this. I have 2 CyberPower 1000 kVA UPS backups, and they've been great. I have no complaints about them. I love the LCD readouts. They can tell you how much power you're using and everything, and that pretty much concludes this video. I think you guys have seen my whole server stack now, and hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.